Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today we're talking about Sibelius's Kullervo. Kullervo was kind of legendary. People knew it existed, but nobody had heard it. It's Sibelius's first great orchestral piece. And great it is. It's amazing. It's a 75 to 80 minute long choral symphony, inspired somewhat by like Liszt's Faust Symphony and pieces like that. It consists of 5 movements. Each movement is an episode in Kullervo's horrible life after the introduction, which sets the legendary scene. Then you get Kullervo's youth, which was absolutely terrible. I mean, he suffered horribly. It begins with a lullaby sung by his mother. It's really an extraordinary piece of music. I mean, you hear it and you realize nobody else could have written it at all. I mean, with that piece, Finnish music arrived. It really did. I mean, it was only Sibelius's Opus 7, but it was incredible. And it set the Finnish language, text from the Kalevala. In the third movement, Kullervo and his sister, which tells the story of Kullervo running around on his sled, collecting taxes, running into this babe who he seduces, only to find out that it was in fact his own sister, which was horrifying to him. And so he rebukes himself, and she commits suicide, and his life is really a mess. And then in the fourth movement, Kullervo goes to battle, which is a triumphant march thing, which uses a tune actually from Stravinsky, the Russian dance from Stravinsky's Petrushka. Of course, it was 30 years before Stravinsky's Petrushka, but it's kind of fascinating. It's amazing because there is that Russian element in Finnish music. And then at the end, Kullervo has a chat with his sword, which speaks to him about how it thirsts for his blood, and he gratifies it by falling on his sword and killing himself. And that's the end. It's really, really, really gripping and atmospheric and spooky, and oh my gosh, but it's got a male choir, a baritone and a mezzo-soprano soloist, and it was performed a couple times, and everybody thought it was unbelievably extraordinary, but then Sibelius grew dissatisfied with it, and he never revised it, and he never revived it. And so it only became known in the 70s when Pavel Berglund recorded it in Bournemouth and started performing it from manuscript sources. I mean, I have a copy of the manuscript, and it's a mess. It was a difficult piece to do. You had to clean up a lot of things. I mean, it had some strange stuff. But in the meantime, Glenda Dawn Goss got a hold of it and made a beautiful critical edition of the work. So now everybody can play it, and everybody has played it, or at least people do play it. You still need a male choir that can sing in Finnish and soloists that can sing in Finnish and whatnot, but that is no longer the problem it used to be. I mean, I saw an excellent performance under Robert Spano in Brooklyn with the Brooklyn Philharmonic. So, I mean, if they can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, he recorded it, by the way, in Atlanta for Telarc very well. Most recordings of Kullervo are good. I mean, because the people who do it really believe in it. And it's the work itself is for all of its rawness and some rough edges, it has some issues with the orchestration, with balance and, repetition and whatnot. I mean, it's an early work, but it's so atmospheric and so gripping, and its very rawness and edge sort of works in its favor because it tells a very primal, mythical story. So it's really okay. I did a fairly lengthy repertoire video on best recordings of Kullervo with my however choice. This I don't think was my however choice, but it's certainly one of the greatest recordings ever of this work. I mean, there's a handful of them. The Colin Davis LSO version, Segerstam, this one that we're talking about, the Berglund. They really it's a lucky work on disc. Let's put it that way. And so when we talk about the greatest recordings ever, we may do more than one at some point in the future. Who knows? But for the moment, we have Osmo Vänskä with the Lahti Symphony Orchestra and the Helsinki University Chorus with soloists Lili Paasikivi and Raimo. Oh my goodness, what is this? Laika. I think it's something like that. Oh, Lauka. There it is. It's L-A-U here. Oh, it is L-A-U. It's hard to read the strange little writing there. Yes, Raimo Lauka, baritone. And oh boy, do they sing and play well. It's wonderful. This is a fabulous performance and very distinctive. It has the slowest version of Kullervo's Youth, 19 minutes and so. Usually it takes like 14 or 15 minutes, but I don't care. I think the heaviness and slowness actually works, especially since the main motive ends with a sextuplet. It's jump, da 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 dum, and yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah da 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 dum, ba da 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 da, sha cha 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 cha. So I mean, being able to hear the rhythm is like kind of cool. It's really cool. I think it's a sextuplet. I don't know, maybe a quintuplet, but it's that kind of a thing. It's a melody like nobody else ever wrote, and it's totally awesome. And then you hear it 4,000 times, and the rest of it is nice and lively and up to tempo and all that stuff. It's just, Kullervo's Youth is the heart of the work, and so to really make a meal of it the way Vänskä does is absolutely wonderful. I mean, he's made other recordings of this, of course, like in Minnesota and whatnot, and that's good too. But this was the one. This was the one. He didn't destroy it the way he did the other Sibelius symphonies in his Minnesota remakes by just micromanaging everything to death. And in Lahti, he never did that. Maybe because they wouldn't let him. Who knows? They were all Finnish. They would have told him what for in his native tongue. But this is a fabulous performance, fabulously recorded, absolutely glorious. And if you don't know Kullervo, you owe it to yourself to listen to it forthwith. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.